I remember the day Liam proposed like it was yesterday. The sun was setting over the ocean, painting the sky in fiery colors. He knelt, a small velvet box in his hand, and asked me to be his wife. My heart swelled with a joy I had never known. I said yes, tears streaming down my face. We were soulmates, I truly believed it. Our future, a meticulously planned dream wedding, stretched before us, perfect and bright. My sister, Clara, was the first person I called. She cried with me, telling me how happy she was. Clara had always been there, always supportive, or so I thought. But beneath her smiles, I sometimes caught a flicker, a shadow of something I couldn't quite name. I dismissed it as my own paranoia. She was my sister. We were family. She would never wish me anything but good. As wedding planning began, Clara offered to help. She spent more and more time with Liam, ostensibly going over vendor lists or tasting menus. I was grateful. It felt like she was truly invested in our happiness. But I started noticing small things. Liam would mention a casual comment Clara made, something that felt slightly off, but I brushed it aside. Wedding stress, I told myself. One evening, Liam casually remarked, "Clara thinks you're a bit too focused on the guest list, maybe not enough on the actual marriage." It was a strange comment. Liam had never criticized my planning before. I felt a tiny prick of unease. I tried to laugh it off, saying, "It's all part of the dream, honey." But his gaze felt a little distant. A few days later, Liam brought up an old story. "Clara mentioned that time you almost ran away to Europe after college," he said, his tone laced with a strange judgment. "Said you were always a bit impulsive, maybe not ready to settle down." I had told him that story, but Clara's version twisted it. It made me sound irresponsible. I felt a cold knot in my stomach. Why would she tell him that, and why like that? The distance between Liam and me grew. His calls became shorter, his touch less frequent. I felt a chilling coldness where warmth used to be. Every conversation felt like walking on eggshells. Arguments, small at first, became more common. They were confusing, about things I didn't understand. I felt like I was losing him, but I couldn't grasp why. Then came the big fight. Liam accused me of being selfish, of caring more about the wedding's appearance than our future. He said, "Clara told me you only picked the expensive venue to impress your old college friends, not because you loved it." That was a blatant lie. I loved that venue. I stared at him, my heart breaking. The engagement felt like it was crumbling. Devastated, I called Clara. She rushed over, feigning shock and sympathy. "Oh, Ilara, I can't believe Liam would say such things," she whispered, holding me close. I poured out my heart, telling her every detail of our fight. I was desperate for comfort, for her to tell me everything would be okay. I unknowingly gave her all the ammunition she needed. Clara listened, nodding, but then she started to twist things. "Are you sure you said that about the venue, Ilara? Sometimes we misremember things when we're stressed." She made me question my own words, my own memories. I felt a dizzying confusion. Was I going crazy? Was I truly selfish, just like Liam and Clara seemed to suggest? Later that night, I overheard Clara on the phone in the next room. "He's completely convinced," she whispered. "It's all going according to plan." My blood ran cold. My mind raced, connecting the dots, the strange comments, the lies, the gaslighting. The wedding was teetering on the brink, and a horrifying suspicion, a monstrous thought, began to bloom in my shattered heart. My sister. Could it be her? The wedding was officially called off. The words hung in the air, heavy and final. My dream, meticulously planned, shattered into a million pieces. Liam looked at me with cold eyes, repeating Clara's lies, words I couldn't recognize as his. The public humiliation was a raw wound, exposed for everyone to see. I felt empty, hollowed out, as if a part of me had died. The future I had imagined, the life I had built with him, vanished in an instant. I hit rock bottom. The days blurred into a fog of grief and shame. I was emotionally annihilated, feeling the weight of everyone's judgment. But in the deepest part of my despair, a tiny spark ignited. A fierce, burning refusal to let Clara win. I wouldn't let her destroy me completely. I had to fight, not just for my happiness, but for my very soul. This wasn't over. I knew I had to find the truth. My fight for truth began. I meticulously went through old text messages, replayed every conversation, trying to piece together the insidious web Clara had woven. I reached out to mutual friends, casually asking about past events, listening for discrepancies in Clara's stories. I scoured my memory for every strange comment Liam had made, every sudden change in his demeanor. It was agonizing, but I was relentless, driven by a desperate need to understand. Then I found it. A forgotten voice message, left accidentally on my phone from a group chat, where Clara was clearly heard twisting my words to a mutual friend. It was irrefutable proof of her malicious lies. The shock was immense, followed by a cold, hard anger. My sister, my own flesh and blood, had systematically sabotaged my life. The pain was still there, but now it was mixed with a burning resolve. I confronted Liam. I sat him down, my heart pounding, and calmly played the recording. He was initially defensive, his face hardening, but as he listened to Clara's voice, twisting and manipulating, his expression crumbled. The realization of his own deception, how easily he had been swayed by lies, washed over him. He looked shattered, his eyes filled with a pain that mirrored my own. Liam apologized profoundly and repeatedly. He spoke of his regret, his shame, his wish to reconcile. He begged for another chance. My heart ached for the man I loved, but the trust was irrevocably broken. How could he have believed those lies over me, his fiancé? The wound was too deep, the betrayal too profound. I knew with a heavy heart that we could not go back. My focus shifted from heartbreak to a fierce determination to reclaim my narrative. This wasn't just about revenge against Clara. It was about vindication, about showing the world the truth. I began to meticulously plan how I would expose her. I would not let her get away with this. I would take back my story, my reputation, and my future. The victim was gone, a survivor was emerging. I chose a pivotal family gathering to expose Clara. With a calm, steady voice, I presented the evidence, the recording, the texts, the testimonies. The room fell silent. Clara's face drained of color, then turned to a mask of fury. The family erupted, a massive rift tearing through our bonds. Her social downfall was swift and absolute. It was devastating, but the truth was finally out. The journey of healing was arduous. The pain of what I had lost, the love, the future with Liam, remained. But I also felt a profound sense of vindication. I had reclaimed my personal power and dignity. I understood that I couldn't reclaim my lost love in the same way, but I had found a different kind of closure. It was a bittersweet acceptance, a quiet understanding of my own strength. Though deeply scarred by the betrayal, I stood strong and independent. My profound heartbreak had transformed into a testament of resilience. Clara was left to face the profound consequences of her monstrous actions alone, her life unraveling as mine slowly began to mend. The future was uncertain, but it was mine, untainted by deceit. I was free, and that was a victory in itself.